Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the tutorial session of LabVIEW, and in this session we are going to take a look into the clusters in LabVIEW. Okay, so here I am opening the LabVIEW software and I'm going to create a blank VI. Okay, so whenever you create a blank VI or a new VI in LabVIEW, you'll get two windows like this. Okay, you can tab it side to side, and one will be the your front panel window, and another one will be your block diagram window. So basically clusters can be defined as a collection of various data types. So here, to create a cluster, you can create a cluster in your front panel window by just right clicking your mouse. You'll get a control palette, and inside that you can see various options for numeric, boolean, string, array, matrix and clusters. And in that, if you select it, you can get an option for clusters. Click that, you can place one cluster. So this is the block for the cluster. We can add various elements or data types into this block and it will be combined as a cluster. So I'm going to add a numeric control into my cluster. Okay, so now I'm gonna make this cluster a little big, and now I'm going to add a boolean push button, and I'll use a string control also in my cluster. Okay, so now I have created a cluster which comprises of numeric, a boolean and a string function. Okay, so as we all know that all these belongs to different data types, they can be clubbed into a single one and can be used as a cluster. Corresponding to this cluster in the front panel, you'll get a block diagram in a block of cluster in the block diagram window, which represents your cluster. Okay, all these are controls. It's a numeric control, boolean control and string control. So if I am setting my numeric value to 4 and I'm switching on the boolean switch, and I am giving a string function for hello world if I'm displaying. Okay, now this is my cluster. If I want to perform any operations with my cluster, you can right click in your block diagram window. You will get a function palette which will have several functions like this: structures, arrays, numeric, boolean, string, and you will have an option for clusters also. Okay, here you can bundle, unbundle your cluster. So if I am using unbundle option, I am having unbundle by name and the simple unbundle function also over here. So if I am doing unbundle by name, I am clicking and I am placing the block here. Since I am having 3 functions in my cluster, I am unbundling all those 3. So I am connecting this cluster into my unbundle function. So it will show something like this. Okay. Okay, so since I want a numeric, a boolean and a string, I'm unbundling all these separately, and I want to indicate all these functions. Okay, so I'm creating an indicator for all these unbundled functions. Okay, and I'm running my VI. So these are the controls which I have provided in my cluster. I have set my numeric value to 4. I have switched on my boolean and I have typed hello world for my string control. And when I unbundle my cluster by name, numeric will provide you the numeric value, boolean will give you the boolean output, and string will give you the string function. Whichever functions you have given in your cluster, you can unbundle it by name. And here you can see the functions respectively. Okay, so now you can also create a cluster by bundling various functions into a cluster. For that you can use bundle by name or simple bundle function. Okay, so if I'm using bundle function here and I want to bundle a boolean function and a string function. Okay, so I'm selecting a string control. Okay, I'm placing it here and I'm typing hi in my string control. Okay, so I have got the corresponding block diagram in my block diagram window. So, and this is my string function, so I'm connecting this boolean and the string function to my bundle function, and I want to create a cluster of this bundle. Okay, so here I'm getting an output cluster, as you can see it here. Okay, for the boolean and the string, I have created an output cluster indicator. I'm going to run my VI. So here I get the output. Since my boolean is switched off, it gives boolean in off state, and my string value is high. It displays high here in the output cluster indicator. Okay, so there is another functions which you can use, such as cluster to array. If we having a cluster, we can convert it into an array, and also we can convert an array into a cluster. Okay, and the cluster constants can be made. We can also use clusters for clubbing various graphs, such as if you want to plot a waveform graph. Okay, I'm just placing one waveform chart here. Okay, and suppose that I want to plot two waveforms in this single chart. I'm right clicking my function palette, and I'm going for numeric, and I'm taking a random number generator. Okay, I'm placing it here. Now I want two random number generators, so I'm copying it. Okay, now I'm using an bundle function. Okay, so bundle by name function I'm using here. I'm connecting it to this bundle function. Okay, I'm adding one more element to connect my second random variable, and I'm connecting it to a waveform chart for displaying. Okay, so in this bundle we have to add elements. Okay, or select the elements. We can use bundle by name function, and we can wire it like this. Okay, We can also replace this using functions from cluster function. So I'm replacing my bundle, okay, using bundle by name by bundle function, and I'm running my VI. So here it gives a waveform chart. It's plotting two functions at a time. If you want to reduce the speed of your output, you can put a wait. Okay, for that, right click your function palette. You can see a timing block here. Click for wait. Okay, and we can add a constant for giving a time delay. So I'm giving time delay for 100. Okay, now I'm continuously running. So now here you can see in my waveform chart two values are plotted, one in red color and another one in white color. Okay, so like this we can bundle two waveforms. Okay, so like this we can use in a graph. Now we can create various programs using clusters. Like clusters are similar to structures in textual based programming. Okay, so here I'm gonna show you some programs based on the clusters. Okay, so this is a program where we are comparing two clusters. Okay, if the clusters are equal, we can the program will indicate which function is equal. Like in cluster 1 I am having numeric, a string and a boolean. In cluster 2 also I am having a numeric, a string and a boolean control. Okay, so here I am setting the controls, and if I run it, it will indicate the boolean LEDs for whichever values are equal. Since the numeric is not equal, the string and the boolean functions are same. Okay, so it's showing like this. If I switch on the boolean in cluster 1, it will indicate off for boolean output. Okay, and if I am increasing my numeric to 6, to show as a match. Okay, so this is an example using the clusters. And now let us take a look into another program. This is a program for cluster in which I have made a cluster for the sensor values, and in the sensor values I am using a thermometer, a tank and a gauge, a pressure gauge. Okay, so all these are various sensors. I am measuring the values of these various sensors and scaling it with some scaling factors different for each sensor, and I am giving a manipulated output here in the cluster. Okay, so I'm continuously running this VI. I'm increasing my thermometer temperature, my tank level, and I'm increasing my pressure gauge level. Correspondingly, it is scaled and it produces the manipulated output here. Okay, so this is also an example for clusters. So thank you everyone for viewing this video.